now. That's simple, it's direct, zero guilt. If they had capacity issues, they'd say it too. Number 3, happy to assist once my current priorities are finished. Focus first, chaos later, maybe. And the last one, thanks for flagging. What would you like me to deprioritize? This one is gold because now their urgency becomes their decision, not your problem. Listen, you are not the emergency room for everyone else's panic. Just because they're scrambling doesn't mean you need to sprint. Protect your bandwidth, protect your peace, and remember, boundaries don't make you difficult, they make you effective. Okay, so now in the comments, write boundaries if this resonated with you. Are you ready for the truth? High performers are not difficult because they're dramatic or needy. They're difficult because they know what good looks like and they will not tolerate lazy leadership. They're going to ask questions. They're going to push back. They'll expect clarity, feedback, and actual accountability because they hold themselves to the same standard. So if you're a leader who avoids conflict, who overexplains mediocrity, or who hides behind, we're all doing our best, they will lose respect for you. And once you lose a high performer's respect, you don't get it back. They are not hard to manage. They are hard to fool. Let me give you a reality check about work. Save this post. You will want to come back to it. Not everyone who calls you teammate is actually on your team. Some people will laugh with you at lunch, bring in donuts, or hype you up in meetings. But the moment there's a chance for them to look good, you're suddenly disposable. They'll sell you out for the smallest payoff. A pat on the back from the boss, a couple of crumbs disguised as recognition. And you won't even see it coming because they'll still be smiling in your face while they do it. That's the game nobody tells you about. Work isn't always about collaboration. It's about leverage. And if you walk around assuming everyone is loyal, you're going to get blindsided. So stop expecting loyalty from people who are only loyal to their own advancement. Protect your reputation, guard your work, and don't get caught off guard by fake friendships in the office. Stay professional, stay cautious, and stay aware. I am likely going to get in some trouble for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I caught a clip today from one of my favorite podcasts. I'll link them in the comments. They were chatting with a gentleman named John Lee, and he dropped a bomb. He called the return to office push a quiet layoff. Are you effing kidding me? That hit so hard. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. During COVID, many companies massively overhired. Now, instead of cutting loose the talent, they're quietly pressuring people back into offices under the guise of restoring culture. Here's the real kicker. 73% of companies will require employees to be back in the office 3 or more days a week by the end of 2025. That's nearly 3/4 of businesses turning attendance into a subtle form of downsizing with no official layoffs. Meanwhile, employees are reminded that remote, which, by the way, consistently drives up retention and productivity, is on its way out. Companies are reclaiming control of bodies, not necessarily delivering value. It's a strategic squeeze, not a refocus. This isn't about boosting performance. It's about trimming staff without triggering an HR mess. And if you're hearing more chatter about, we're an in-office culture, than talking about your compensation, that, my friend, could be your warning. So if your company insists you're back 5 days a week, or they're dangling incentives for FaceTime, pause and ask, is this a culture reboot or a quiet exit strategy? So if you see through the haze, drop BS in the comments. Let's not go quietly on this one. Let's talk about narcissistic bosses. Because if you've ever worked for one, you already know it's not just frustrating, it's exhausting. Save this post for future reference and make sure you stay until the end for strategies on how to protect your peace. Here are 6 traits of a narcissistic boss that you need to recognize fast. 1, they crave admiration. Everything has to be about them, their ideas, their achievements, their image. If you get too much praise, they'll find a way to dim your light. 2, they lack empathy. Your workload, your stress, your burnout, not their problem. They only care if it affects their reputation. 3, they manipulate through guilt or fear. They'll say things like, I thought you were more committed than that, or you're lucky to even have this opportunity. Those are classic control tactics. 4, they rewrite history. They'll deny promises, shift blame, and conveniently forget details that make them look bad. You start questioning your own memory, and that's exactly how they like it. 5, they play favorites. There's always an inner circle, and loyalty, not competence, is the entry ticket. 6, they take credit and deflect blame. When things go well, it's all them. When things go wrong, it's you. If this sounds familiar, you're not crazy and you're not overreacting. You're working for someone who thrives on control, chaos, and ego. Here's the truth. You won't change them, but you can protect your peace by setting boundaries, documenting everything, and refusing to feed their need for validation. So drop a yes in the comments if you've ever had a boss like that. I bet you don't know that it's a fact that if you sit next to an intelligent person, your IQ can actually rise. Research shows our brains mirror the people around us. That's social contagion in action. The same thing happens at work. Studies show high performers can lift team productivity by 15% just by being on the same team. Energy, focus, and problem solving are contagious. So here's the question. If proximity to excellence raises everyone's game, why would you surround yourself with people who consistently can't get it done? Here's the tough truth. Mediocrity spreads just as fast as excellence. If you sit next to someone who cuts corners, dodges responsibility, and coasts, you'll feel the drag. Leaders, listen up. You don't rise by lowering your bar. You rise by building teams where standards are clear. Accountability is non-negotiable, and high performance is the norm, not the exception. Because at the end of the day, your growth, your culture, and your results will always reflect the company that you keep. So look around the table. Are the people beside you pulling you higher or quietly pulling you down? Type table in the comments. Are you ready for a hot tip? Good leadership begins with good self-management.